Hey, happy day. Pajama Grandma, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. In case we haven't met yet, go and put hashtag pajama in the comments below. Then I know it's the first time you're being exposed to the Pajama Grandma. Put a magnifying glass on it. What's really going on here? Today, I'm thinking about up and down and up and down and up and down, and how sometimes our life feels just like it's a big roller coaster ride. Now, some of us love rides, like theme park rides, and some of us hate theme park rides. Some of us used to love theme park rides, but now we hate theme park rides. Some of us have varying feelings about theme park rides, like roller coasters, it's always because of the experiences we've had. And it's kind of the same way when we're growing our businesses. It's not kind of, it's exactly the same way when we're growing our businesses. Up and down and up and down. Our businesses ebb and flow. There's times when it's really, really exciting and they're growing really fast. And then there's times when we're having to do things and put things in place that aren't really fun, but we know we need to do them so that we can ride up that roller coaster. We have to go down that hill to get the momentum that we need to shoot up the next hill in the roller coaster. And it can be just as exciting riding down that hill. Actually, sometimes riding down that hill is even more exciting than I think it is more exciting than the ride up the next hill. But the ride up the next hill is really exciting because we know we're going to go over the top of the crown and the crest of that hill and then swoosh down again. And it's the same thing with our businesses. And if we can find a way to embrace the excitement and the curiosity and the challenge of the ups and downs in our business, it makes supersizing it so much more rewarding and exciting. And the process of growing our business is so much more fun than if we're always bemoaning or complaining about the down things, the things that aren't working. But I have found, I don't know if you have, I'd be curious if you would comment below, but I seem to learn way more from the things I screw up and make mistakes on than the things I ever do right. I already know how to do the stuff that I do right. It's the stuff that I screw up on, that I make mistakes on. That's how I learn, because I learned that I don't know how to do it, so I have to figure out the way to do it properly, or the way to get and by right, I mean to get the result I want. The right result for me is probably different than the result that is right for you, but right for me is the result I want. That's how I define right or wrong. Wrong is not the result I want. That takes a lot of the emotion and the charge and the reality discussion out of things, because I hate when we get into this reality discussion. I've been involved with a lot of people in my lifetime, and one of their arguments is always, when I would present an idea or a thought, well, that's just not facing reality. And I hate when people throw their reality in my face and say that I can't do something because it's not facing reality. Because you know what? We make up all our own reality. Reality is totally relative to each and every single one of us. If you don't believe me on that, look at any situation that's happened to you. Pick a situation or an interaction that you've had, or the witnessing of something. There can be 100 people witnessing the exact same event, and there will be 100 different versions of what happened in that event. Think of car accidents. There can be 6 or 7 people that witness and see the exact same car accident, and they will all have a slightly different perspective, because we all have a different perspective. We all see things only through our own lens of, not just the way we see things, but our lens of experience is how I like to describe it. Since we have every single person on this planet has been through their own unique set of experiences. And all of those experiences, everything that happens to us, everything that happens around us, everything we're exposed to impacts what we think and feel about things. And what we think and feel about things forms and creates our reality, our way of seeing things. Have you ever gotten in a discussion with somebody, or say an argument, and realized that in the middle of it, you and the other person are talking about 2 entirely different things? I've been involved in lots of those with my ex-husband. We would be having a discussion about something, and he would be upset about something, I would be upset about something, and then we would come to find out that what we were upset about was 2 entirely different things, and we weren't even on the same page in our conversation. And things like that happen all the time because I was looking at the situation from my point of view. He was looking at it from his point of view. He was seeing something. I was seeing an entirely different thing. And if that can happen in our close, intimate relationships, just think about how much it happens in our other dealings with people that are not that close of a relationship. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling. But that is my rant about reality. Just remember, whenever you're telling someone to face reality, or you're saying, well, that's just not possible, or that's not real, remember that that is you saying it's not possible for you. It certainly doesn't mean it's not possible for that person. I've learned that over the years with my kids, because I will never tell them that anything is not possible, because I don't know what they're capable of. And I have seen them do things that I would have considered totally impossible, and they've done it repeatedly in various aspects of their lives. And I've seen other people do that too, that things that I think are absolutely miraculous and impossible, and they're pulling it off all the time. Now, it's only because I would think those things are impossible for me, so I'm judging it through the lens of my experience and my eyes and what I believe is possible. But I forget sometimes, like we all do, that it's not what's possible for me, it's what's possible for them when we're discussing things. So, and what's possible for each of us is absolutely infinite. It's amazing. We can't even imagine what all we're capable of, because we put all these filters and limitations on ourselves. But the truth is, anything we can imagine, we could actually make happen if we just believed we could make it happen. And I know that that seems to get overstated and said so much, but that's because it's true. It's one of those universal truth things. And people don't like to believe in universal truths because we're inundated with the rules and the regulations and the way of doing things by so many things around us. But we have to remember that those are all made up too, right? Every rule that we're subjected to, or that we agree to follow, because a lot of times it's important that we agree to follow the rules. It's good that we agree to follow the rules and mores of the society we live in to maintain some semblance of order. Otherwise, there'd be massive chaos. If everybody on the planet just did whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted, wherever they wanted, we would live in massive chaos. It would just be a nightmare. Nothing would ever get done. So I get there's a reason for some rules and regulations, but there's also a whole lot of arbitrary rules and regulations that are made up that we agree to follow, that we don't have to agree to follow. We just don't have to participate in those things. So today, what am I working on? I am working on, I'm going to do my webinar again. I need to keep practicing that till I feel really comfortable with it, because I'm going to be using it in different areas and different arenas. And then I'm going to start breaking it down and sharing it as other content. I have not done that. And it's really hitting me in the face how important it is to focus in on and do one thing. Pick one business, pick one thing, and really focus in on that. Master everything with respect to that. Supersize that business. And then if you're still interested and you have any time and energy left over, do the next thing. But don't pick a bunch of things until you figure out the one. So I'm really pulling in and crafting and working on now, lately, the last couple of days, branding and messaging, personal branding, because I am like a chaotic psycho, and it's hard to work with people that are all over the place. And I tended in the past, because I'm changing it now, to be all over the place, because my excuse is I'm old and I know how to do a lot of stuff, which is true, but what am I awesome at? What am I really good at? What should I be doing? Because I can make my biggest impact on the world. And so I'm really bringing that all in and focusing. It's only been 58 years that I've needed to start focusing. And so this year I am focusing, right now, I am focusing on my one thing. And my one thing is helping people supersize their business. And by that I mean I help people in the brick and mortar traditional business offline world bring their business online. Not just bring their business online, but I help them supersize their business by adding an online component, or in some cases bringing what they do online and automating the whole thing. Depends on the business, depends on the owner, depends on what they want. But I teach in the process of supersizing their business. My one thing, and I don't know why it took me so long to get to it, because I actually registered the domain name 10 years ago. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I created the Facebook group or some page or something. The page, I think. So that's a long time ago to be thinking about an idea. That was like the beginning of Facebook getting big for the rest of us. Excuse me. This cough was supposed to be gone yesterday. I gave it 2 weeks, and I'm ready for it to be done. So today will be the last day. You just want to hang on for a little bit extra. That's it. That's what I'm working on today. Focusing in on my messaging and getting consistency across all my social media. I know I've needed to do that for a long time because I'm like a lot of people. I just added social media as I was exposed to it, and I thought it would be fun for my brick and mortar businesses, and I thought it would impact those, and I created pages for some of my different businesses. Most of them I didn't, and I never had time to do anything online or with social media until the last year or so. And now as I'm making that a bigger part of what I do, I'm figuring it out. But I'm realizing that I have this huge mess. I've got probably 10 different profile pictures out on different pieces of social media. I need to make those all consistent. I need to hone up and shore up my messaging to be the one thing. And so I'm working on those kinds of things. So it's kind of my weekend project, I think, for the next couple weekends is going to be to get that consistent, fix my colors, fix my branding, fix my messaging, fix my about me's, make sure I've taken off old, because I found out last week by a hater, which was really funny, that I had like 13 old websites on my Facebook profile. I have not shored up my social media accounts, so I didn't even realize it. And I just went in and deleted them all. It's not that hard. I just hadn't made it a priority until somebody needed to point out that I had a dead end on one of my Facebook page links to one of my websites. Well, it's a business. We don't do that business anymore, so it was silly that I hadn't remembered. But let me ask you, do you remember to go in and whenever there's a change in your life, change absolutely every one of your social media accounts? I don't. I need a social media manager that just can manage all of that stuff for me. And that's coming to me too, that I need to go ahead and add that person to my team. However, to me, social media is very personal, and I'm holding off on that because I want to be the one that responds on my social media. I want to be the one that is commenting on my Facebook and Instagram and things like that. A lot of people don't do that. They just want to have a social media manager. I want to be the one that's always commenting on that. I want people to know that it's really me behind the things that I'm out there for. And that's part of why I have not gone out and gotten a social media manager. So whatever you're working on today, make it a fantastic day. Every day above ground is a good day, folks. I'm trying to remember who taught me that. It was a motivational speaker back in the 80s. And I'm trying to think who that was. Could have been I don't think it was Les Brown. Maybe Les Brown says that. I don't think so. I don't think it was anybody that famous. He wasn't that famous back then either, by the way. Have a fantastic day. I will see you tomorrow. Go out and be you. Jam Grandma out.